Hey guys, it's Michelle, and I'm back for another edition of our weekly Women Entrepreneur Success Show. And today we're talking about being in praise in celebration of simplicity and the obvious, hashtag Obvi, right? And I'm so excited to be doing this with you guys. As always, I definitely want to make sure that I'm sharing this to my profiles so that the people who need to hear more about business simplicity actually can hear it. So definitely you guys share it if you know people who should be hearing this as well. And here we go. So I can share it now. But I know that there's a lot of money to be made in complicating business success, health success. You know, there's just a lot of money to be made in complexity and bogging us down with more things that we need to do, more things we've got to do, more things we must do, right? And but honestly, good morning, Dorothy. But honestly, that's not ever what I have been about, because the truth is, I know you can make money adding to people's toil. I know that you can make money by telling people more and more to do, giving them shiny step after shiny step up the ladder of success, right? But that's not how you grow an empire, a community, a true following, a tribe, right? And along those lines, I want to start out today's show by reminding you that as an entrepreneur, you have zero moral or ethical obligation to climb the ladder rung by shiny rung, right? There's just no obligation to do that. And as entrepreneurs, we don't have to do that, right? Like, we can leapfrog to the top, we can crown ourselves, we can nominate ourselves, and we're the ones who are making the decisions, signing the checks, deciding the fees, and all of that stuff. So one, you have no moral or legal obligation or ethical obligation to climb the ladder as you might have done if you worked for corporate, right? And the second thing I want to remind you of as we go forward is that people want simple. I am not alone. While I am definitely a recluse and an introvert and many other things worse, right? Things that I've been called. I'm not the only one who wants and desires and craves simple. I know that most people hire me or join Women Who Wow because they want simplicity. They want simple money, right? Money that doesn't have them trampsing all over the country, stage to stage, state to state, 8 to late. Like, they want simple money. They want simple success. Success that does not cost them what they hold most dear. Success that is a prescribed, a custom fit, and doesn't feel clunky or heavy. I know that people come to me because they want success that allows them to be themselves and get paid handsomely for being themselves without compromise. They want simple fame even, right? Although they might not call it that, but they want to be known, right? That's what our members come to Women Who Wow for. They want to have demand for their work. We want to make money, and we're not willing to give up our lives in order to make money. We're not willing to give up our lives, our opinions, our priorities, our soul in order. We're not laying all that down on the altar of success. Hey guys, hey Valerie, I'm so excited to see you here. There are lots of success stories out there, but some achieve success and honestly, this has messed with me a little bit over my entrepreneurial journey, right? I have been discouraged when I look behind the curtain of other people's businesses, people that I admired, people that I looked up to, people that I at one time wanted to emulate what they were doing. And when I look behind the scenes, I realize that their life is falling apart. They don't love their life. Their health is going down the drains. Their relationships have all been cast aside. And there's lots of success stories out there where people are achieving success by breathlessly chasing after it, right? Like running hard and fast, apologizing to family as they catch another plane to yet another state that might pay off for them. And that's just not the way I'm ever going to do things, right? The truth is, the simplest, most direct way to success is the simplest way to success, right? So people join WOW or when I took on private clients, they hired me not because they've given up on their dreams of wild success, but because they recommitted to them. them because they recommitted and they determined to create success entirely on their own terms. This is what brings me back to like simplicity, right? And today's show is going to be short and direct unless you guys have questions. So type them in the comments. I love questions. I love comments. But I really love questions and even pushback. I like to have a real conversation with you guys. But when I think about simplicity, which is the one thing that I have to have in my life and business, and what more and more people want in their own, I don't just believe like in simplicity as a concept. Like I crave it and demand it. It's a core value of mine. And here's how it can help you today, right? So if you want to type in, you can, whether you're watching if you're watching the replay, type replay or tag me so I definitely see the comment. Or if you're here live, what are you struggling with most in your business, right? Maybe you don't want to post it here. That's okay. Just think about that. Like think of the thing, like whatever it is for you, the thing that's holding you back somehow in your business. So if you think about that, what am I struggling with in my business? What's the main thing? What's the one thing? What's the primary thing that I feel like if that were fixed, it would definitely bring me back. It would definitely, if that were fixed, I would be able to come back to myself and make sure that I make great strides towards my goals. So think about that, right? What are you struggling with most in your business? And then I want you to just imagine, what's the obvious solution? What's the simplest imaginable solution? What's the hashtag Avi, right? Like a lot of times we have something that feels so big to us and it's so overwhelming and it's been there so freaking long. It is very common for us to expect a long, complex, complicated solution, right? When sometimes we can just walk away from it. Sometimes we can just ignore it. Sometimes we can just do the opposite. Sometimes we can just take a step, right? So what's this most simple, most, least complex, most obvious solution? The simplest, most direct, most obvious way forward is always the right way to go. By the way, the internet land has created a very fancy term for what I'm talking about now, right? Like, so I call it, whoops, I think my light went out. But anyway, I call it being simple, being obvious, right? And but what they call it is alignment, and it's become like this big term, and I love that term because alignment is just like aligning your actions today with the goals that you're going after for tomorrow, right? Like when my actions, when the natural, direct, obvious outcome of what I'm actually doing day to day, when that aligns with where I'm going, then everything is simple and direct, right? So whenever you are struggling with something in your business, I invite you to cast aside everything you've learned by the internet gurus, toss it aside, forget what you've been told, forget how long it's supposed to take, forget all of that stuff, and ask yourself, what's the simplest, most obvious solution here? What's the fastest way to go? What's the most direct route, right? How can I align what I do today with what I'm actually going after? It's the most obvious way forward, right? And I also invite you to look with suspicion on issues that are complex and complicated. I invite you to consider, everything in your life that works really well. Everything in your life that works really well. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's fitness for you, maybe it's relaxation or friendship or whatever it is. I invite you to look at those things and see, just peel back your eyeballs and see that when something's going really well in your life, it is overridden with simplicity. It is very, very simple. So when people come up to you and have a long, drawn out, complex and complicated solution to whatever you have going on, I really want you to look upon that with suspicion, because you want the simplest, most direct route, because we don't have unlimited time here, right? Like we all have a purpose and we don't have unlimited time. So let's make good of the time that we have. So if I can help you, definitely message me. If you haven't joined Women Who Wow yet, if you have friends who haven't joined Women Who Wow yet, let's remedy that. There's no need to wait. They can message me and get in right now. I would love to welcome you or them to the fold. I'm going to look at the messages. Yes, Lord, simplicity. The internet gurus avoid that while ripping you off. Absolutely. Complexity sells. Complexity sells. Because when you've dealt with something for so long, it is not uncommon to think that a simple solution won't work. Or else you would have thought of that, right? Complexity sells. And we need to look upon it with great suspicion. Yeah. Dorothy says, get rid of what does not serve me or my goals. That includes underwear you don't love. That includes clutter in your house. That includes friendships, acquaintances, groups you attend. All right, guys. I'm excited to be with you guys. I'm here every Tuesday, 12:15 p.m. Eastern. It's free, the Women Entrepreneur Success Show. I'm really having a great deal of fun with it. I love it when you guys participate and ask questions or make comments. And you can always find me here on Facebook, facebook.com/Women Who Wow, right where we are now. You can always message me, m.me/Women Who Wow. I look forward to talking with you, meeting your friends, and just doing simple, obvious business together. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.